All right, everybody, welcome to our Tuesday night webinar. This is a series of webinars that the FitTeam Extreme does. On every other Tuesday night, we have a webinar where we are kind of doing an introductory webinar, giving people an overview of what it is to be part of this team, and it's kind of an opportunity webinar. And then Tuesday nights like this, the every other Tuesday night, we're going to start doing a little bit of a training. And the FitTeam Extreme is really kind of starting to scale up. We're improving our systems. A lot of things are happening to really accelerate the team. So tonight, I'm going to cover several different things that we're rolling out, some improved systems of some of the systems we've used in the past, and actually even begin to introduce some new systems that we're going to be bringing on. So we're going to be talking tonight about the TribePOD system. That's the name of the system that we use to really build and duplicate our systems. This is within the UFT. Obviously, we plug into Beachbody, we plug into Pete and the UFT team, but we also have our own system, which we call the TribePOD system. Now, some of you may not know who I am. My name is Kyle Newton. I've been in the direct sales industry for over 12 years now. I've not only been in direct sales, I've been developing systems for multiple network marketing companies, and have been very successful with that. Myself and my team have literally made millions of dollars, both in direct sales and in licensing and providing our systems to teams. And we've been providing our training and our systems to the FitTeam Extreme now approaching 2 years. And so this is an exciting time. We have some very trained and skilled leaders on this webinar. Jen and Rob and Anita, Melissa, TJ, these guys have been through the work for 2 years, and we're now ready to actually scale this up and start bringing this same system to you guys as well. So I'm going to lay out some fundamentals tonight. An overview of what we're doing is we're building a tribe, not just a fit tribe. I mean, Beachbody has done an absolutely phenomenal job in building and sustaining a fitness revolution, and we're part of that. You're part of that as Beachbody coaches. So we want to see that expand. We want to see that grow, but we also want to create a financial tribe and really create a system where you can create walk away residual income. And the way you do that is by creating a tribe. Now, I'm a big fan of Seth Godin. Seth has written a lot of different books on marketing, online marketing, viral marketing, doing those types of things. You say, Kyle, what does that have to do with my Beachbody business? Well, just like the title of his book says, we need you to lead us. I need you to lead us and lead your team and really start creating some duplication. And so we have a system that's been proven, it's been tried and tested over the years, and how you really create duplication within your Beachbody business. So, what is a tribe? A tribe is a group of people connected to a leader and connected to an idea. Now, the idea that we're connected to here is the concept of Beachbody, the concept of taking control over our fitness lives and really taking it to the next level. And we're connected to all of our leaders, from Carl to Pete to TJ to Jen to all of that. We're all tribe leaders in our own part. We all have our own organizations, but we learn to actually kind of come into a rhythm. Now, it says tribes only need two things: a shared interest, and we've got that, Beachbody, fitness, the financial, and we need a way to communicate, a way to come into rhythm, a way to grow as a tribe. And that's really what we're going to be laying out tonight is this tripod system that really can create duplication. Now, myself, a lot of my mentors, we're big fans of this guy you see on the screen, Michael Gerber. Michael Gerber is a phenomenal business coach in the area of small businesses and franchises, but he lays out some very important principles that are very applicable to direct sales and network marketing and your Beachbody business. And he talks about three core activities of any business. There's lead generation, lead conversion, lead fulfillment. That's generating new people to talk to. That's lead generation. Learning how to convert those people, and in our language, that's having them become customers or coaches. And then lead fulfillment is making them successful either as a customer using the fitness product or a coach doing both the fitness side and the financial side. And what Michael says is that all great businesses have systems for these three main components of business. They have a system for lead generation, they have a system for lead conversion, and they have a system for lead fulfillment. And that's what the tripod system is about. We have a system that literally you can plug people into and it can move them forward. And it looks like this. The tripod system is made up of three specific environments. There's you. Yes, you, the person that's listening to me right now, you, the Beachbody coach. Then there's your tribe, and your tribe consists of your sponsor, whoever enrolled you into Beachbody. It consists of FitTeam Extreme. You're part of this team. This team is part of a larger team called the Ultimate Fitness Team, led up by Pete Pena, and we're part of the overall Beachbody tribe. So there's this tribe that's happening, but our specific tribe, the FitTeam Extreme, has this system that we're going to bring into rhythm, and I really believe it is going to create some phenomenal incomes and a phenomenal experience for everybody who plugs into it. And then there's the system, and that's what Michael Gerber was talking about. You see, most people in most direct sales businesses, they've got the you part. You got somebody new in the business, and they've got a team, they've got a tribe, but they don't really have a system that really can accelerate people into business. Now, we're always going to be using and coming into alignment with UFT and the playbook. All of you should be familiar with the playbook and the basics and getting a coach started. That's powerful. But what we're talking about tonight, the FitTeam Extreme, is just that. We're extreme. We're looking to create extreme coaches, both in the fitness side and the financial side. And to do that, we have to go a little bit beyond the playbook. We have to literally get into a system and an environment that really supports us to really maximize our incomes and accelerating. The FitTeam really has two teams on it. There's the growth team and the elite team. What do I mean by that? The growth team are coaches that come onto your organization who say, yes, I want to make money. Yes, I want to be plugged into the financial stream, but I kind of want to do it my own way. I don't really want to, be in a system. I just kind of want to take it as it comes. Whoever's interested, as people come up and talk to me about P90X or about whatever exercise program I'm doing, I just kind of want to go on my own. And guys, that's powerful. We need to let people have that experience if that's the experience they want. But then there's the elite team, and this is all part of the system, and we'll cover it in a minute. Those are coaches who say they at least want to be at a rhythm of the Diamond Dash. They want to be going for, getting 3 coaches in the first 30 days, 3 in the next 30, 3 in the next 30, getting up to that $1,000 a month in income. Those people are the elite coaches who say, I want to step in. I want to take this thing serious. This is who this system is for. The TribePOD system is for both the growth, and we have a way to nurture those that are on the growth team, but it's really focused at raising up elite coaches, elite leaders who want to be part of this overall system. And what I'm going to do tonight is break down this system for you. I've recorded this as well so you can kind of get this in your DNA. All tribes have a common language. They have what they call how we do it around here. And so tonight I want to unpack this so you can have this as a frame of reference as you begin to plug into our calls, into our webinars, and into our online systems. This webinar will give you a frame for that. Let me ask a question. How many of you would like to be making $1,000 a month? Raise your hand. How many of you would like to be making $5,000 a month? Raise your hand. $12,000 a week, all right? Maxing out your position, absolutely. And so to do that, you need a system. To do that where you don't go from one full-time job of whatever you're doing now to another full-time job of being tied to your phone and tied to this and constantly on a recruiting treadmill, then you need a system. And that's what we're going to be unpacking tonight. And guys, this system is proven. This system has had input from multiple 6- and 7-figure earners throughout the history that we've created this system. This isn't something that just, a great idea that's never been tried and tested. This system has been proven to produce 7-figure earners in the direct sales and network marketing business. And we're unleashing this system, and we're upgrading this system now for the FitTeam. Let's break down what we mean by you, the tribe, and the system. What you're going to see is this system is really simple. It only has a few moving parts. And when you master these moving parts and you teach others to master these moving parts, you're going to create that residual income. You're going to create that monthly income that you're looking for. Up there in the top left of my screen, hopefully it's the left of your screen, you see the you. When we talk about you, we're talking about your beingness. Many of you have heard of be, do, have. What we want to focus on are all of those, but our primary focus is your beingness, because out of your beingness flows your success, flows the way that things are attracted to you, flows your gift of leadership. And so we're going to unpack that tonight, but we focus on your beingness. Over there on the tribe, what the tribe primarily does is create an environment for dynamic practice. We're going to be talking about dynamic practice. And at the bottom there, the system is comprised of the 5 I's. And we're going to break this out for you. So there's 3 primary components to our system. There's you and your beingness. There's the tribe via which you do dynamic practice. And then there's the system, which houses and incorporates the five I's. So let's break this down a little bit. Let's look at the system first and the five I's. The five I's are simply this: identify, invite, initiate, ignite, and impart. Those are the five core elements, the five moving parts of any successful direct sales business. If you can, number one, identify people that are interested in becoming coaches or customers and have a source that brings them to you, and we're going to be talking about that, a lead source, a way to bring people to you, either as you walk and go throughout your day, your job, go to Walmart, whatever. We're going to teach you how to identify people quickly that are in your sphere of influence. We can also teach you how to identify people online through social media and search engine and other things, so you can identify people who are ready to be customers and ready to be coaches within Beachbody. Once you've identified them and you've had an initial conversation, or they've responded somehow automatically through a website, you're now ready for the invitation. The invitation is very simple. We do it through a three-way call, okay? The reason we do it through a three-way call is and we'll break this down as we go into training, is that it makes it very duplicatable. People will say, yes, I can do that. We have scripts, we have a clear process via which we do the three-way call and move people into it. Once someone decides to be specifically a coach or a customer, we move them to the initiation phase. This is where we get their order taken. This is where we get their websites going. This is where they go through the playbook. This is where they get initiated to the FitTeam Extreme, to the bigger team, the UFT, and to Beachbody as a whole. This process is very simple. It's very led by a process, much like the playbook is, and we get people kind of oriented to Beachbody. Once they're oriented, we want to ignite them. And what are we igniting them into? Especially if they're elite coaches. They want to be not just growth coaches, but elite coaches. We ignite them into this system. We also ignite them into their tribe. We get them involved, and we'll look at this in a little while, into small groups, which we call triads, okay? And we get them into an environment where they're working with a team member, and in that environment, there can be an impartation, a place where they can have the DNA of this team, the DNA of Beachbody, imparted into them so that it becomes literally part of who they are. And if you have a system, remember, we're at the system level that can do all of these five things predictably, then guys, you have a business that can duplicate with or without you. As you develop leaders who do and follow this system of the five I's, once they've got it and once they can teach others, that leader is now developed and can begin to build. And now all you have to do is coach from a distance. We teach training, mentoring, and coaching. Initially, when you bring on a new coach, you're going to train them, and the websites are going to train them in the system. Then you're going to mentor them, which is model them. As you're igniting them, you're with them literally online, and you're modeling for them how to do this system. And then once they got it, you get to pull back and coach them from a distance. Literally be there when they need you and to stay plugged in. And so those are the five I's. That's the part of the system. Let's look at dynamic practice. And dynamic practice is done within the context of your team or your tribe. And dynamic practice has three different parts to it. There's the focus of practice, how to practice, and what to practice. And guys, once you get this all down and you really kind of get a rhythm of it, this is a major tool that we use. What to practice, how to practice, the focus of practice. And let's break this down. What are we practicing? Well, we just covered it. We're practicing the scripts. We're practicing the process of the system. We'll literally come on the calls. We'll role play initial conversations, the FFORMC, and framing the opportunity and making the offer to come onto an invitation call that all happens in Identify. We'll role play a three-way call. We'll practice it with your triads in the invitation stage. We'll practice what it is to have an initiation call with people and have them choose into how much, how fast, how much do they want to make with their business, how fast do they want to make it. Then based on their decision, we'll determine, and there'll be a clear process to ignite them into their business. And through that same process, we'll practice what it means to impart your coach DNA and this system DNA into others. Okay, so that's what we're practicing. How do we practice it? We practice it within the tribe. And first, it's within a triad. You guys who want to choose into this system, who want to be elite coaches, we're going to pair you up with one of our top senior coaches, and they're going to be leading up your triad. And that triad will have a call once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, whenever, however, and whatever accelerated rhythm that you want to be into. And in that triad, that senior coach knows how to coach you. They know how to impart to you the system. And then that team can grow to a team of 12. It can get a little bit bigger. No, never bigger than 12. It can start with 1 or 2, but we have these focused triads and then we grow into groups of 12. That's how we do it within the system, because it's that relationship, it's that human connection that really creates the bond and the impartation. Of course, we have technology to support you as well. Now, all of the how to practice and the what to practice is leading us to the focus of practice. And this is the ideal outcome, which is your beingness. Through practice, you become a coach. Through practice and practicing within the environment of the tribe, your overall beingness rises to a high level. So let's look at what parts of your beingness we're focusing on. We start with clarity. Through practicing the scripts, through learning the story of Beachbody, through knowing how to frame the opportunity, knowing how to do the 5 I's, you start getting clarity. Some of you, if this is your first time seeing this, you're like, whoa, a little bit of information here. I'm not exactly clear on how all of this works. Well, 1 or 2 exposures, 1 or 2 repetitions, you're going to get clear on the system. You're going to get clear on how it works. You're going to get clear on how it's going to create duplication and growth in your business. And from that clarity, then comes a certainty. You lose that uneasiness, you lose that anxiety of not knowing what's going on and what do these words mean and how does this system work. You move into a place where, yeah, I feel pretty certain I know this system. I feel pretty certain that I'm comfortable with how all the parts work together, what all these things mean, and you lose that edge of anxiety, an edge of an anxiety you may be feeling right now, and you move into that level of confidence. You go from being unsure to being completely confident that you understand all the moving parts of this system, how to operate it, how to bring people into it, how to level people up through it. You get that level of confidence. Once you have confidence that you fully are clear, that you're fully certain, out of that place comes a conviction. How many of you feel sometimes when you're sharing Beachbody that you're not fully empowered to do it? You know, especially maybe if you're sharing the financial side and you're not quite making the kind of revenue that you're saying, can be made. It pulls down your confidence level. If you're unsure of how to answer questions and get people involved, it pulls down your confidence level. But we can teach you how to have confidence in every area of your Beachbody business. And once you have that level of confidence, then comes a deep inner-seated conviction. What does that mean? You are convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're in the right place, that Beachbody is the right company, that this team is the right team, and that every single person that you come into contact with should be in your business. If they're not already doing Beachbody workouts, if they don't already have Shakeology in their bodies on a daily basis, you are convinced that they should. That conviction is just pouring out of you anytime you talk to someone about Beachbody and what you're doing. And from that deep-seated conviction comes a credibility. And guys, when you speak from a place of credibility, it's kind of like the old E.F. Hutton commercial, if you guys are old enough to remember that. When he speaks, everybody listens. Well, when you come from a voice of credibility that's built upon clarity, certainty, confidence, and conviction, people will take action on your words. They will feel you. They'll experience you when you're talking about Beachbody. They'll be like, man, I don't know what that person's drinking. I don't know what they're smoking, but I want some of it. Whatever they're doing, I want plugged into whatever they're doing. And that's the beauty of the system. As we practice, right, the 5 I's, that's what we're practicing. And how we practice it, which is within the system, the focus of practice, this clarity, this certainty, this confidence, this conviction, this credibility begins to go through the roof. So it's really, really simple how all of this works. And I'm just going to go back through it now that I've unpacked it for you and just walk through it one more time so you kind of get how simple this really is. There's really just you, the tribe, and the system. It's just that simple. Within those components, you is your beingness, what we were just talking about, clarity, certainty, confidence, conviction, credibility. All right. Then there's the tribe. There's dynamic practice. There's the focus of practice. There's what to practice. There's how to practice it. And what are we practicing? We're practicing the 5 I's. We're learning how to identify people for our Beachbody business. We're learning how to make an invitation. We're learning how to initiate them into the business. We're learning how to ignite them and impart them. And we have all of the dynamics to really make this happen. And so it's just that simple. And we try to keep it simple so people can duplicate it without getting too anxious and too kind of sideways on everything that's going on. So that is the system. And our goal is to move you to a place of clarity, certainty, confidence, conviction, and credibility. I hope that makes sense. And so the way that we do this, the way that we make this happen is through 3 primary modalities. One, through webinars like this, where we kind of do a show and tell. We can see each other. We can see some slides. We're learning. We're training. We're mentoring. We're coaching. So there's webinars like this. Then there's conference calls that we'll use where you'll get on the phone with your senior coach, with your triad leader, and you'll move into that place of practicing. What are we practicing? The 5 I's. How are we practicing it? With your triad. What are we focusing on while we're practicing? Your beingness, getting you to a place of credibility. Out of the flow of all of that comes success. Now, I'm going to take you out to the web real quick and show you some websites. This was the FitTeam Extreme websites over the past 2 to 3 years that we've been actually building and moving forward. This is the third dynamic. This is the third environment, which will be online through our websites. So the 3 ways that we'll actually meet together as a team, the 3 ways that we'll actually move into practice is webinars. There'll be live conference calls with the big team, with your triad, with your group of 12, and then there'll be your membership to the sites. And then being a member of the site's free. And inside of this site is a ton of technology. And we're upgrading the site now to go to a whole different level. We're going to start going with this website, the fitnessathomeworkouts.com. And we're bringing a whole new technology to you. And I'm going to unpack this tonight. I've been telling the senior coaches that are on the line, Rob and TJ and Anita and Melissa and Jen, that right now we're in training mode. Right now I'm doing me talking, you guys listening or watching on the webinar. That's training mode where you're receiving information from your senior coach, which is me right now. Eventually we'll move into mentoring, where on those calls, I'll do a 3-way script, then you'll do a 3-way script. I'll model it, then you'll duplicate it. Once you learn and been through that mentorship place, now you're coaching. And write this down because this is really important if you're taking notes. At the training level, there's 3 levels of the way that we impart this system into you. All right, I'm going to go back to a slide right now. There's 3 ways that we impart into you. It's called training, mentoring, and coaching. Training, mentoring, and coaching, okay? Training is where your coach is doing 90% of the talking, 90% of the communication, and you're doing 10%. So at the end of this webinar, we'll open it up, we'll answer questions, but today I'm training you on the system. I'm doing 90% of the communication, and you're doing 90% of the listening, and then at the end, 10% you guys will participate. That's the training level. It produces the least amount of fruit in your business, okay? It's necessary because it builds clarity. It's necessary because it explains the system. But as far as tangible results in your business, it produces the least amount of results. The next level is what we call mentoring. And you'll want to write this down. Mentoring means modeling. Mentoring means modeling. And what do I mean by that? It's where, like, your senior coach, if we were on a 3-way call, that call would have me talking about 50% of the time, and then you talking about 50% of the time. And what are we talking about? We're role-playing the 5 I's. I'm mentoring you in the process of dynamic practice through the 5 I's. We may be practicing FFORMC in the invite level. We might be role-playing, opening, and closing a 3-way call in the invitation area, or we may be role-playing the conversation around initiation. we're role playing. And so on those calls and in those environments where we're mentoring, I'm modeling, or your senior coach is modeling, and then you're repeating and duplicating, and then we're debriefing at the end of that. It would go something like this. Let's say TJ and I were modeling the three-way conversation. So I would do it first, and then I'd say, okay, now TJ, you do it. And he would do it, and then I would ask him this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how did you do? And he always lies. He says 10. No, I'm kidding. He would just say, I think that was a 6, that was a 7. Great. Why do you think it was a 6 or 7? Well, I stumbled on my words here. I don't really feel like I had really that conviction and credibility to my voice. No problem. Here's a couple tweaks that I'm going to give you. Let's do it again. And then we go back through the process again. That's modeling. It's happening within dynamic practice. It's where I'm speaking about 50% of the time, or your senior coach is, and the coach or the training, the team is speaking about 50% of the time. Then we move down to that third stage, coaching. So there's training, mentoring, coaching. At the coaching level, you are doing 90% of the conversation. You're leading the calls. You're training your teams, and your senior coach is basically just like a little angel sitting on your shoulder, listening to you and kind of whispering in your ear every now and then. Great job, TJ. Maybe just tweak this one little way that you're coaching your teams, or maybe phrase the framing of the opportunity this way, and those little adjustments from a coaching standpoint go a long way. And see, once you move to the coaching stage, 90% of my time is not needed with that team now. I now only need to invest 10% of my time into that coach, because that coach only needs me to be their coach. And so there's training, mentoring, and coaching. So if tonight seems like an information dump, it is, because we're at the training level where I do 90% of the talking and kind of give you the environment that you're stepping into. As we step into this, and as you choose into our webinars and our calls, okay, you're then going to move to a place where you'll move into modeling, and you'll be role playing in dynamic practice. And eventually our senior coaches will just move into a coaching place with you where they're coaching you through the process. So the 3 environments that will do that, this webinar, just like tonight, we're training on this webinar. We'll do it on conference calls, and then we'll also do it on the websites, okay? And let's take a look. So the FitTeam Extreme website is being morphed into fitnessathomworkouts.com, and here's why. Remember that one of the 5 I's is to identify new people. I'll tell you a little bit of my own personal story. I got involved in direct sales and network marketing back in 2000. Thought I would never, ever, ever get involved in direct sales and network marketing. My father and I owned a golf course. We were golf professionals, pastors, insurance agents. They're the number. We got like a target on our head says, recruit me into your direct sales business. I got hit up with every direct sales company that ever came down the pike. And I didn't buy into it. But in 2000, I was introduced to direct sales and actually had to listen, because it was a lady who had a significant impact on my life. She's basically my adopted mother. I love my natural mother, but this lady just really adopted my wife and I, and really nurtured us and mentored us and coached us in so many things. And one night my wife and I were driving over to her house, and my wife got us about 50% of the way there, about 30 minutes down the road. She said, oh, by the way, Sharon wants to introduce us to some network marketing company. And I was just like, oh, turn the car around. I don't want to do it. But I had to, because it was her. Well, that was really the first time I ever took a look at network marketing and how it really worked. And when I saw it, when I watched the video and I saw what was happening, I'm like, okay, I'll do this. And I'm a systems developer. I'm a computer guy by nature. I like to develop those kind of things. And I immediately, as I got started in my business, saw the need to develop systems. And that's much of what you guys are going to be plugging into, are customized systems and software and prospecting tools and contact management tools. We have a suite of tools that are going to help you build your business. But if you don't have anybody coming into that tool, if you don't have leads, if you don't have people to talk to, then you can have a Ferrari all day long, but if you don't have any gas, it looks good in your driveway, but you sure don't get to pimp it out on the road. And so without leads, without people to talk to coming into your business will eventually slow down. And I became to know that after I went through all of my warm market, I began to realize, wow, I don't have the quantity of people I want to talk to. And that's when I educated myself in the concept of SEO, search engine optimization. I actually wrote a book in 2000 and 2002 on search engine optimizations and ended up driving our business into the millions of dollars because I knew how to drive traffic online. Much has changed in the decade from 2002 to 2012, but I just finished basically my PhD in search engine optimization. And what we built here is a website that you guys are going to be able to tap into the lead source that's coming off of this website. That'll be one of the multiple lead sources that we're going to be training you on to take advantage of. And so with that, we're going from, kind of a static site that's not really geared towards search engine optimization to this type of site where we'll be unpacking for those that are interested in generating leads online. We're really going to help you and train you to do that. And that's a great way to identify people because they identify themselves. They contact you, which is the best way to make it happen. Of course, Beachbody is like the most phenomenal, awesome company ever because they give you customers, which is unheard of in the network marketing industry. So congratulations for being Beachbody coaches. But we want to accelerate that from 1 to 2 coaches a week to, you're getting 5, 10, 20, 30 coaches to talk to. That's where we're going with that. But this site also will have a place for you to personalize it as well, a place where you can build your own optimized sites. Now, this isn't done. We're finishing it up this week, but this will kind of give you an idea. We're also launching what we call Gamplify. We're going to be developing a game, okay, within our team that will help you gather more customers and level up more coaches. Gamplify is a technology that my company launched at last year's Direct Selling Women Alliance. The DSWA is the largest organization of direct sales professionals in the world. And at their recent conference, we were their Gold's premier sponsor. And we launched Gamplify, which is using games. Now, think of it this way. You all should be familiar with the Beachbody Challenge, where you log in, you join the challenge, get a t-shirt, you start logging your results, you're competing for $500 a day, $1,000 a week, ultimately a $100,000 prize. That's a game. Beachbody put money out there to incentivize you to work out, to log your results into Wowie, into the Super Gym, and make that thing happen. Well, what we've done is wrapped a website and an environment around the Beachbody Challenge that is totally going to allow you to gather more customers faster and also allow you to create online fit clubs, online cup competitions for the Coach Cup, and online fit clubs, all from the comfort of your home using these really, really powerful tools. Debating on whether to get into that or not. I'll unpack a little bit of this just so you kind of get a flavor of it. But not only are we going to have a site that houses all of the system that we talked about, all of the training around the 5 I's, all of the training around the dynamic practice, all of the training around your beingness, we're going to gamplify or amplify your Beachbody business using a game. And I'll just unpack a little bit of it tonight. It's beyond the scope of this webinar to get into it. But this will be a customer gathering machine. Imagine inviting your friends to go online. As many people that like Facebook, you could say, hey, go to my fitnessathehomeworkouts.com/Nicole website and join the game. They can start playing a fitness game even if they're not in Beachbody. They can just start playing a fitness game around drinking, getting the right amount of water, the right amount of sleep, doing push-ups, if nothing else. You get them in your funnel, get them engaged working out, and then we're dripping on them why they need to use one of our workout videos, why they need to get Shakeology in their body. And eventually they upgrade and become a customer so they can play the game with you. And then we're dripping on them once they're playing a game as a Beachbody customer of why they need to up and play the coach game and join us in the Success Cup and do all of that. And this is all part of that identify and invitation process. And we have launched Gamplify systems with multiple network marketing companies. And I cannot tell you, in 12 years of developing systems for direct sales and network marketing companies, there's nothing even close to what Gamplify can do to accelerate not only your prospecting and your lead generation, but how fun and how powerful it is to take your coaches, because we Gamplify and make fun the TribePOD system. And so I'll unpack a little bit this for you tonight, and then we'll wrap it up. part of what's in Gamplify is it creates an I can do it attitude. It totally levels the playing field across the board for people to get involved with you as customers and also as coaches. It creates a dynamic, living team tribe environment that's kind of like Facebook meets Super Gym meets LinkedIn meets Twitter. I mean, it's just like the most awesome dynamic environment to bring people in, and it creates a state of flow. I don't know if you've ever heard of when athletes and peak performance athletes get into a place of flow. Well, the game brings you into a place of flow in your fitness side and also in your financial side. And we're pursuing an epic meaning. And what the epic meaning is financial freedom for you and your family, as well as dramatically changing people's lives and health and wellness. You see, in anything like tonight, as you're thinking about plugging into the Fit Team Extreme system, the best way to get anyone to do anything is to make them want to do it themselves. And what Gamplify does is incentivize people to want to get in, become our customers, start working out because they want to. It takes all the kind of carrot and sticks out because we create incentives. This is one of the most phenomenal books. If you're a reader, you may want to read Drive. It's a powerful book. It's the surprising truth about what motivates us. Guys, I want to motivate and empower you to motivate to have thousands and tens of thousands of people, and maybe even hundreds of thousands of people involved in your Beachbody business. If we can find and tap what motivates people to work out, what motivates people to continually work out, and what motivates people to start and grow a home-based business. And if we can, if you were to think of these things as levers, if we knew how to pull the lever, if you were talking to someone and you could just pull a little lever and all of a sudden they became your customer and started working out and buying a new video every month and Shakeology every month, would you like to have that lever that you could just pull? Say amen. Say, I would. And if you could just pull a little lever and you could have a coach all of a sudden go from being kind of like, well, I'm kind of interested in the business, kind of not interested in the business. If you knew the right lever to pull to have them get motivated to be part of the Diamond Dash and start building a successful business, would you want that lever? The answer is yes, you would want that lever. Well, we have in the game created these incentives that are literally those levers where you're no longer carroting and sticking people to be your customer and all of that. We're actually in a place where we're not wagging a ruler trying to get people motivated to work out or motivated to build their business. We create this game environment that people get frenzied about, get totally excited about, so easy to do, so fun to get involved with that it's something you want to do every day. I mean, let me give you an example. In these games, we'll be building games around challenge groups, around online fit clubs, around the Coach Cup. We were implementing one of these games with another health and wellness company that sells shakes and does a lot of other stuff. And part of the game was that you work out every day. Now, this particular company didn't have workout videos. You know, all they sold was the nutrient side. They weren't like Beachbody where they sold the workout videos. So part of their game was they had to work out every day. Well, there was this lady up in Seattle, Washington, who was actually on a team of 5 ladies. Every day they log in and they keep score on a scorecard where they are, checking off points every day for the type of activities they're doing. Well, it was about 9 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden she kind of jumped out of bed and realized she hadn't worked out. Now, let me ask you, how many of you, after tucking in the kids, being done with work, laying down in bed with your honey at 9 o'clock at night would get up and work out? I wouldn't. Todd would, but TJ's a little bit crazy. He tracks down elk in his underwear and a Bowie knife. So not everybody's quite as motivated as TJ is, but most of us would have stayed in bed and just watched CSI or whatever. This lady jumped out of her bed and literally just ran around her house for 30 minutes so that she could check off that she got the points and that she did the activities because she didn't want to let her team down. Our system literally will track points for eating right, getting the right amount of water, getting the right amount of sleep, doing your Beachbody exercise, drinking Shakeology, dropping a good habit or picking up or adding a good habit, dropping a bad habit. And what's happening is your teams will be going in, logging each day, little scorecards. We're finishing up our phone app right now where you can just click a button, drank my water today, exercised today, did my workout today, da 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 da, communicated with my team today, and you're getting points. And then your challenge group, those points are translating to winning the challenge groups, competing in the cup, being an online fit club. And then there's leaderboards, there's team rosters, there's e-learning, there's social media built into all of it. And what it does is move you and your team into what we call a state of flow. Okay, me, I, Chick, Simi High created this graph where you look at flow. It moves you into this channel where you're leveling up and getting totally excited about what you're doing. And when you get in flow in a fitness side, when you get in flow in a financial side, you're producing money and you're producing financial results. And so these are the systems that we're bringing together for the FitTeam Extreme. We're bringing all of the TribePOD training that we've been talking about tonight into an organized and systemic way. And we're also then bringing the game in so that we can have these online challenge groups, online fit clubs, online cup challenges, and it'll be a great way for us to bring new team members into this. So what do you do from here? Wow, Kyle, you've given me all this information on the training side. Where do I go from here? The answer is simply this. I've recorded this webinar. We'll be getting a link out to you where you can watch it again, where you can send it to your team members, and you can begin to get your mind wrapped around this. The Fit Team has calls and webinars at this time slot for an hour on Tuesdays. Then we have calls on a time slot on Thursday. We're going to be launching our game here in the next couple weeks, and so stay in touch with Jen and TJ, myself, and get plugged into the website. The game is free to play. There's no financial commitment. It's, get involved with that. And on our calls and on our webinars, we're going to start unpacking how to train this. And what I want you to do is I want you to get in touch with us, and we're going to be assigning you a lead coach who's going to work with you and your team of 3 or your team of 12 and really begin to walk you through this process of dynamic practice, leveling up your beingness, and focusing on the 5 I's. When you log into your website, your fitnessathomeworkouts.com website, there's going to be all the training, all the scripts for the 5 I's are going to be out there. Our recorded calls are going to be out there. Our webinars are going to be out there. Your access to the game is going to be out there. Your lead generation site is going to be out there. And point by point, practice upon practice, we're going to be unpacking this for you. So simply just raise your hand, email Jen, email your upline sponsor, whoever invited you to this webinar, and say, hey, I'm in. Inform me of the times of the calls. I want to start attending the calls. I want to start attending the webinars. I want to be part of a triad. I want to be an elite coach and really see my income totally accelerate for the remainder of 2012. That's your only action step, and then be committed. And in that process, as you come on to the FitTeam Extreme, guess what we're going to do? We're going to initiate you into the FitTeam Extreme, and this is where we're going to explain to you growth team and elite team. And if you choose into the elite team, then we're going to set some 30, 60, and 90-day goals for your business. How much do you want to make? How fast do you want to make it? And then we're going to customize an engagement plan specifically for you to know how much you need to engage into the TribePOD system so that you can produce that income at the end of those 90 days. So with that, I'm going to formally end this training session, and I'm going to open up for questions and answers. I can't see everybody on webinar here, but let me see. I've got a few people online. Let me see if I can unmute without it being crazy feedback. If you're not asking a question, I'm going to ask that you mute your line. If you're on the webinar, or here, let me do it. I'm going to mute real quick. I'll mute everybody. Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to unmute you, but I'm going to ask that you mute your line. On the GoToWebinar interface, there's a little a microphone icon next to your control panel. You can click on that, and that will mute your microphone so we don't have all the echoes and all the feedback. And then if you want to talk, you then can unmute yourself and come on and ask any questions. So here we go. I'm going to unmute you. Oh, good. That sounds pretty quiet. Anybody have any questions? If you have a question about anything that I've shared tonight, please unmute yourself. Questions or comments?
I'd just like to say, Carolina and Nicole, that Anita's down here on the end. I don't know if she's out on your screen, but she's down there on the end. Hi, Anita. The lightning stop up there. Glad to see you, babe.
Hello.
And then, for all the coaches on, and especially you, Kyle, thanks so much for taking your time to be our senior coach, and hopefully we're going to be stepping in there. We're going to move to 90-10 instead of 50-50 here shortly from where my team's at. But for the guys that are getting into this, for me to sit here tonight and look at this webinar and see my new people and my teams around the country and have this opportunity is a reality thing. It's like it's real. It's happening for us. We've been working at it, and it is so awesome to have this going on. So thanks so much, and thanks for everybody for taking time out of their evening to be here.
Thanks, TJ. Hey, Rob, can you unmute yourself? Oh, he hung up.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go?
I hit the wrong button.
There you
Oh,
go.
man.
I'm back.
Rob, I'd like for you to share a little bit about this. You've been coached through the 5 I's. You know, you've been coached through dynamic practice. You've been coached through this whole process for coming up on 2 years now. Over the course of 2 years, what kind of impact do you think this system has made on you personally, your business?
Well, it's definitely gave me, more confidence and clarity and certainty, the 5 C's that we talk about as well. But it gives me a duplicatable system to bring new people in and allow them to, see how we do it and become part of the process immediately. With using the 5 I's, and using a 3-way call, you're bringing people in. They don't have to know all the information all at once. We're able to walk them through the steps, but at the same time, we're able to help them build their business as we're walking them through the steps. So, we're going through more of a training and then into the mentoring and coaching phases. It's really allowed me to help people get through those processes faster and help them build their business while they're learning. So they don't have to know everything at once. People come into this business and they think there's so much information, just like tonight, that the new people that are on the call that are just seeing this for the first time. This is so much information, but with working in triads and working in your smaller groups, you're able to, help the people through the process while they're building their business. So they don't have to learn it all and then build their business. They're able to build their business while they're learning it and, go through the steps themselves and then start coaching their new people on it as well. So it's just duplicating yourself in a process that really works and helps you succeed.
Beautiful. Well said, Rob. Anita, can you unmute?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Anita. Anita,
All right.
we've done a lot of role playing together, both your triad and myself and others. That concept of mentoring and the role playing, what impact did that have in you going from clarity to certainty to confidence, conviction, credibility? How do you think role play has impacted you when you came in with your triad and you actually do that live practicing?
It's had a huge impact. It really, really builds your confidence and just gives you certainty and just the confidence you need to have to connect with people. Because once you go through it over and over again, it's been a while since we've talked about all the 5 I's and the 5 C's, but it's still in the back of our head because we've practiced it so much. So once it's so inside of you, you just automatically do it and you don't have to think about it, and then you come across a lot more believable and you can really concentrate on listening to what people are answering your questions, and that way you can identify their need and what it is that we can help them with. And just this team is really why I'm still here. I mean, if you're just out there flailing around as a coach, it would be really hard to build a business, but having a team and a system that tells you what to do next is just, it's incredible, and it makes everything a lot easier.
Well said, Anita. Well said. It's amazing, this whole team over these 2 years. When we first started the role play process, there wasn't clarity, there wasn't certainty, but as they went through that whole process and to hear in their voice, guys, this is such a phenomenal gift. Nicole and Carolina and everybody, Michael, it's good to see you. Michael, as you guys start, using this system, not only when you get confidence and conviction and credibility in yourself, it is an amazing process. It's almost like having a kid, okay? When one of your downline coaches, one of your team members comes in, maybe they're a little bit shy, a little bit meek, and within 30, 60, 90 days, every time they talk, they're firing on all 8 cylinders of conviction and credibility. It's a phenomenal experience to pay that forward and to to really see that happen. And what's beautiful about this, guys, imagine having clarity, certainty, confidence, conviction, and credibility in every area of your life, in your marriage, in your relationships with your children, if you have children, and in your workplace, in your environment where you go to job. Guys, these skills, this personal development spills over in every single area of your life. And Jen, I'd like for you to share just a little bit about this overall environment and over the past 2 years, not just what's been going on in your Beachbody business, what you've stepped into, just in this last, say, 30, 60, 90 days as a coach, but how has this impacted your overall life as well?
Hi, Kyle. Thank you. I was having the same conversation with Jim Kane today, and I see it in layers. It's really interesting that where we started off with scripts and helping us to really have the clarity and the certainty with how we were initially approaching somebody just to talk to them about Beachbody products and with the hopes that they would consider becoming a customer, and then gaining all the way through confidence and conviction and really owning at such a deep level how much we have seen everything, how much we have seen the ability for we've seen somebody's life really change, and coming back around and revisiting this helps me to go back into, if I need to, the components to have the clarity and the certainty in not just developing coaches, but in all the areas of my life. And it reminds me that we can have this different levels of competency in different areas of our life, and we can hold those both at the same time, and that this is a system that comes back into play, whether it's in my relationships, whether it's how I'm working with my children, whether it's taking it back into my ski instruction profession, that I need to stay very clear and very certain on the skill sets, that I need to revisit them, whether it's just by reviewing past trainings or whether my learning is coming by how I'm now working with others. And it really is, it's this wonderful, cyclical, duplicatable system that it's tangible, it's practical, and it functions in every area of our lives. It certainly has for me.
Well said, Jen. Thanks so much. Well, guys, I want to hold this time to an hour. I want to thank you for taking your time out of a Tuesday evening to come onto this training. Again, your action step coming out of this is just stay in touch with us as we officially launch here in the next little bit. The fitness at home workouts, you're going to want to jump in there, start using the technology, accessing the documents, playing the game, getting involved with that. And definitely email the person who invited you to this call. If you're saying, yes, I want to be a lead coach, yes, I want to start getting into these kind of trainings, then we're offering this to the whole FitTeam Extreme. And, if you have any coaches on your team that you think ought to see this, we're going to be making this available on YouTube where you can go back and watch it later. And so just make sure you stay plugged in, guys. This is going to be an exciting year. This is a ride that you don't want to miss. Having an opportunity like this with all these senior coaches that have been through the gym of this for 2 years, Melissa, Anita, Rob, TJ, Jen, myself as the team coach coming in, and 12 years of experience in direct sales network marketing. Guys, this is a very, very unique opportunity. We're excited to be launching out this next generation of our technologies and our games for this team. And so just stay plugged in, stay motivated, team. Thanks for sharing, Rob, Jen, TJ, Anita. Thank you guys for sharing tonight. Carolina, Michael, Nicole, everybody on the call. It's great to see your faces. I love this technology where we get to see everybody. That's a ton of fun. So stay plugged in. Connect with us next week on our calls, and we'll talk with you soon. Have a good evening, everybody.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
Bye.
Thanks, Jen. Todd.